carefully the total length of the track when the Britishers, the so-called Britishers left India in 1947 was around 50,000 kilometers. And after the independence today, the length of the tracks stands at what? At 70,000 kilometers, merely or barely the addition of 20,000 kilometers. Hail Indian democracy, hail Indian state. For a population of 1.4 billion people, which has surpassed the population of China and become the world's most populous country. For such a country, there is an addition of just 20,000 kilometers in the length of the railway tracks, addition on what the Britishers left. If the tracks are not getting laid and not getting extended, not getting broadened, then what will happen? The congestion on the tracks would persist. If the congestion persists, then only some elite class trains like the Vande Bharat and all would be given the pass, and the normal trains, middle class trains would suffer. Thus, there is a need of reorientation in the budget of the railways, reorientation in the expenditure policy of the railways. So guys, journeys in the railways have always been awesome. They teach you something new every time if you observe them very closely. And today what happened with me that at 10 a.m. on the 26th of May, I was at Vidisha station and I was looking for a train to Ganj Basuda, which is a 25 minutes journey from here Vidisha. And I had 3 to 4 trains on my radar, which were scheduled for around 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. considering the fact that the trains in India are usually late. So when I arrived at the station, I asked the station master that this train is heading towards Bina, that is Ganj Basuda. So is this the train that would stop at Ganj Basuda? Because I saw no such train on the application of IRCTC. He said that it's going there. Then I was astounded. I was just confounded, and I was thinking that I didn't find this train number on the IRCTC application. So where has this train come from? From the sky or from the earth? Then to my utter shock, when I got into the train, I came to know that this is Kushinagar Express, and this train is running freaking 20 hours late. 20 hours late. And this train was expected to leave the LTT, that is Lokmanya Tilak station, at 1 a.m. on the 25th, but it left in the night at 11 p.m. Okay, so you can understand that the train arrived there 18 hours late, and the people had arrived there on the station. I interacted with the people inside. They told me that they had arrived on the station around 2 hours ago, but they had to wait there on the station for how many hours? For 18 hours. So who is responsible for this delay? Because whenever there is a delay of 2 to 3 hours in the flights, then you can see the elite class boiling up, getting enraged and infuriated, making the videos, slapping the crew members and all. But the people sitting there in this train, mostly the middle class people, they were like all okay. And when I interacted with the people, then they said that this train Kushinagar Express, it goes to Gorakhpur and is thus named Kushinagar Express. So they said that it is infamous for the delays. So my question is that this is the pathetic state of affairs in the Indian Railways, and you will see that everywhere, at least in my state, I'm seeing that every freaking station is getting reformed and modernized. There is modernization taking place in every station. The platforms are getting either broadened or heightened up or renovated. I don't know for what reason. What purpose will this serve? Will this help in the trains not getting delayed and arriving on time? Will this help in making the experience of the passengers better? Will it help in making the arrival and departure of the trains punctual? You can see the modernization taking place, and I was thinking to make a video on this thing for a very long time, because be it the Ganj Basuda, be it the Bina, Vidisha, any or every station, Damo, every station is getting reformed. And there is a scheme, I don't remember the exact name of the scheme, wherein the funds are being spent for the modernization of the stations, making them more brighter, more fascinating and beautiful. But will it serve the practical purpose? What is the main purpose, goal and aim of the railways? To facilitate the journeys, travel of the passengers on time. Just like justice delayed is justice denied, in the same way trains delayed are train denied, journey delayed are journey denied. Because suppose that I am traveling to somewhere, for what? Maybe for the wedding ceremony, maybe for the marriage, maybe for some important work, I have a meeting there, maybe some tournament there. There was a lady who was pregnant, who was 8 months pregnant, where I was sitting, the place where I was sitting. I had the general ticket, but I entered into the sleeper bogie, and because it was merely a 25 minutes journey, and the general was jam-packed that it is always. So I could see that, I could hear their agony, sense their agony, their grief, and it was pathetic. This is high time the railways should change their orientation, take their orientation away from the modernization process, away from the renovation of the railway station, and should divert their funds towards the broadening of tracks, towards the lengthening of tracks, towards taking the railways to the lands which are still devoid or deprived of the rail connectivity. Now here these are the 3 tracks. Instead of being 3 tracks, suppose that this is not the station, there should be 4 to 5 tracks so that more and more trains can pass on these tracks. As we see that new trains like Vande Bharat are getting launched, there is going to be more and more traffic on the railway lines. And if there is more and more traffic on the railway lines, then the upper class trains called Vande Bharat or Rajdhani Express, Shatabdi Express, trains like them would be given the priority, rendering the middle class or the lower class trains like the Kushinagar or other trains, rendering them useless. I mean, as they have no value, as the passengers in them paid no ticket, and they are delayed. And delayed for how many hours? I told you, I showed you. The train just passed by here. That was Kushinagar Express running 18 hours late. Can you imagine? It's one whole freaking day. One whole day is wasted. And you wouldn't believe that the people are so much in fear, so much in shame. I told a couple of people, I asked them very politely that would you please tell these agonies and grief of yours on the camera. They said no, you can ask anybody else. I said why? Because you are the person who paid the money, you are the citizen, and you have the right to voice your grievances, and thus you should. This is the perfect way the people sitting in the helm of the administration, railway governance, will hear your grievances and will work upon them. Because they are thinking that people, the citizens, are all okay with this state of affairs. They have got no problems if the trains are getting delayed because they are not raising their voice. And thus this state of affairs would just go on and on and on. There would be no change and reform. The only change and reform would be in this. It is just directing the structures, making them more decorated and renovated. All we need is just shade, and we don't need shade even if you make the trains arrive and depart on time. We need shade just because we will have to wait in these summers of May and June. What do you think? What would be the condition of the people who are waiting on a station for 18 hours, for almost a day? What would be the condition of the people? There is an engine which is producing the sound, taking you away from the engine. I am also in the bright sunlight, but I thought that is my duty, my responsibility, my moral duty. If I know something, if I feel for it, if I can relate it with the other things, if I can take a macro perspective on it, being a researcher, being a sociological researcher, then I thought that is my duty to speak on the issue on the behalf of the fellow citizens, to hold the railways responsible. The major question that arises here is, do the people sitting in the trains not deserve a compensation? Do they not deserve the compensation? Who is accountable for it? Because the Railways very conveniently, very smartly said that we cannot do anything because the train itself, the train arrived on delayed. The train arrived on the station very late, and thus it was expected that train would be late, and we sent you the message. But what purpose would the message serve if you are sending us the message, in advance that train would be delayed? But what purpose will it serve? Suppose if I have a marriage ceremony or something else which is very important, and you are delaying the train by just almost 1 day, 24 hours, then even if you are sending the updates beforehand, what purpose would it serve? No purpose, because I cannot book the train immediately. That pathetic state of affairs. Normally the trains, the bogies, the seats in them are booked, completely booked 1 month in advance. It is very difficult to take a Tatkal ticket. Again, there is premium ticket. The charges are very high. Who will pay the heightened charges? Only those who can afford, and who can afford. Not all the sections of the society, not all the classes. Next very important question is that where should the money of the railways be invested, be spent? Where should the expenditure be done? Don't they know that the total length of the track, please listen it very carefully, the total length of the track when the Britishers, the so-called Britishers, left India in 1947 was around 50,000 kilometers. And after the independence today, the length of the tracks stands at what? At 70,000 kilometers. Merely or barely the addition of 20,000 kilometers. Hail Indian democracy, hail Indian state. For a population of 1.4 billion people, which has surpassed the population of China and become the world's most populous country, for such a country, there is an addition of just 20,000 kilometers in the length of the railway tracks, addition on what the Britishers left. And then day and night, we the people of India blame and slam the Britishers. Okay, they had their own demerits, own shortcomings. They were not totally good people. But this is something great that they did, and this is something we should be grateful to them for. Because what you people, the so-called rulers of the independent India, in the mother of the democracy, India, what have you done? What have you done since independence? I'm not holding just one particular government responsible. I'm just indicating or pointing my fingers to the Indian state in a cumulative way, cumulatively in these 70 years. What has been done? If the tracks are not getting laid and not getting extended, not getting broadened, then what will happen? The congestion on the tracks would persist. If the congestion persists, then only some elite class trains like the Vande Bharat and all would be given the pass, and the normal trains, middle class trains would suffer. Thus, there is a need of reorientation in the budget of the railways, reorientation in the expenditure policy of the railways, reorientation in terms of the planning. The budget is not to be spent on these things, the so-called modernization, making the stations look brighter and more beautiful so as to garner the votes or for other reasons. The budget, the expenditure, it needs to be done here on laying down the railway tracks, on broadening the tracks, on extending the tracks, so that more and more trains can be launched, so that the trains can run at a higher speed. They can reach their destination on time. That is very, very necessary. Time is money here. Can you imagine a people losing the whole day? It's Sunday today, I'm free, thus in the bright sunlight making the videos. Otherwise, I also wouldn't have the time to do the same. But in the little time that I have got, just after getting down the train, I thought that it is my moral responsibility to make the videos, to make the citizens aware, to make them not the passive, docile and meek citizens, to make them the awakened citizen who can raise their voice wherever it is necessary, no matter what your party affiliations are. But this is something which is concerning you, which should concern you. We all travel. If not today, then tomorrow is gonna hurt you. Maybe you might have some medical emergency or need to attend some program, tournament, your competition or some official academic work, important work, and your train gets delayed. Then also you would understand. God forbid if you have any medical emergency. The lady sitting just right to me was 8 months pregnant. These are the lived experiences of the people who travel in the railways. And these grievances, concerns, they need to be brought forward, because the people themselves won't come and speak. They are not so very literate and educated. Even if they are so, then their voices are muzzled. Their consciousness is